What is happening, people? It is Brian, Alsruhe.com, and as you can probably tell, there was no intro to this video. So I suppose I should say welcome to the commentary. I was supposed to stay back after training today and record the intro and the outro. However, I completely forgot. So all that I want to do is just bring you guys in and show you some of the highlights from my training this week. It started out on Monday with these yoke walks, which I pretty much talked the entire time through, but I did work up to 750 pounds for a couple runs and then worked my way back down. After that, I moved on to the farmer's walk at 275 pounds per hand because I have that coming up in a competition. That is the competition weight, but I'll be honest with you, I was really struggling with the farmer's walk this week. So I decided to punish it and get into a lot more of that. I did a ton of assistance stuff and a lot of grip training that day, but I didn't include that because this video is going to be long enough without it. And then this brings us to Wednesday, where I was doing this SSB squat / sled drag challenge thing, I guess. But basically what was happening is I was working with a 200-meter sled drag and then coming in and hitting 8 reps of the SSB squat, which is absolutely brutal. So I just got done 8 reps there at 360, 340, something like that. And then this is a 200-meter sled drag. As you guys can see, this first one I just put in normal speed because I am not sprinting. I am just kind of jogging with the sled. I didn't want to completely blow myself out and not be able to do my squats because I had a goal of the day of working up to 500 pounds for 8 with the sled drags in between. So as you guys can see, that barn is actually just about 100 meters away, so it makes it very easy to do 200-meter sprints or 400-meter runs. And then I came back and immediately jumped to do the squats, and this is 430 pounds for a set of 8. Now, the SSB definitely makes the squats harder, but that is the entire point of this workout. Now, I know a lot of you are going to look at this and kind of be like, what an idiot. Who would do sled drags to SSB squats back and forth? If you are not a little bit nervous before your workout, then I think you kind of need to question what intensity you're actually working out at. I'm nervous before every single one of my workouts because I know it's going to be miserable. So here is the set of 500 pounds for 8 reps, and then I go directly into another sled drag, and this was my top set of the day. This is what I walked in the gym hoping that I was going to be able to do, and it actually worked out pretty well. 8 reps feels like a lot to me, so I try to break it up in my head. I do the first 4 as fast as possible, and then I get 2 more sets of 2. I have to play stupid games like that in my head because it's just absolutely miserable to me. So immediately after that, I jump into the last 200-meter sled drag, which, yeah.
Hooray.
And then, as you can imagine, it led a lot to that. So ended up puking my brains out, which made for a wardrobe change, and then I started working on Stone of Steel because we got Stone of Steel, both the men's version and the women's version, at my gym this week, so of course I had to play with it. So here I am doing Stone to Shoulder. There's 250 pounds inside of that Stone of Steel, and basically I'm just trying to get acquainted with it. The contest that I have coming up in about a month is regular stones with tacky, which I much more prefer. However, a lot of promoters are moving to the Stone of Steel because people just get tacky all over the gyms, and then that's not very cool. So because of inconsiderate competitors, people are moving to the Stone of Steel, and I can't really blame them. However, it doesn't mean that I need to be happy about it because I like traditional concrete stones 8,000 times better. The Stone of Steel has a tendency to kind of hurt my biceps because it's kind of always slipping out of my hands, so I'm bending my arms, almost like bending your arms on deadlift. It's a bad thing. So this is actually the second time I've ever touched Stone of Steel, and last time that I did, I failed at this weight Stone to Shoulder. So I guess that's a PR by some sort of weird default. And then you're going to see more farmer's walk here. Here is just 135 each hand for 200 meters. I'm trying to kill my grip, guys. Just trying to get stronger every single time. So here is Friday, where I am doing grenade landmine rows. So all that I did was took a bar and set it up in the landmine so that it's almost like a T-bar row, except I attached grenade handles to the chain so that I could work my grip at the same time, and that actually worked out really well. And then I was also doing this overhead trap bar press, which actually does a lot. It was a recommendation from Brian Shaw about how to get your log press up. So I figure if Brian Shaw's doing it, I should probably listen to him as opposed to anything that I'm going to do. Anyway, go back to the grenade rows, and I really like them a lot because you're able to kind of pull those grenades apart to get kind of a deeper row than you normally would. It's better than a T-bar row in my opinion, and it's working your grip. There's no real downsides to that. And then I was just doing 5 sets of 10 rows to 5 trap bar overhead presses at 225 pounds, and then I moved on to some volume work with the Duffalo bar. So this is 340, I think, for a set of 5, and then I jump up to 390 for a set of 3, and I had hit a couple sets at 340, sets of 5. So just getting some pressing stuff in, trying to work my triceps, and trying to give it some different stimulus with the Duffalo bar so that hopefully I can be stronger. Which brings us to Saturday morning, where I was working on the pause deadlift and the circus dumbbell. So all I'm doing is pausing about 1 inch off the ground, and then you finish the deadlift. Now, circus dumbbell is coming up in a future competition. As far as deadlift goes, I have a basket deadlift, which is like a car deadlift with the bar in front of you, and it's going to be increasing weight. So you're going to do one deadlift, they're going to add a couple hundred pounds, then you're going to do another deadlift, add a couple hundred pounds, and it's just going to keep going up like that till you get as heavy as you can. Now, my circus dumbbell in that competition is also as heavy as you can. So I am really hoping for something in the 230 to 250 range. We'll see how that goes. But this day, all that I was working was sets of, at the 150-pound dumbbell, I was just doing sets of 5. And that guy next to me, that is Nick. He is one of the coaches at our gym. Super awesome guy. He is Maryland's strongest man at 200 pounds. Really, really terrific. And even though he weighs about 40 pounds less than me, his circus dumbbell press is only about 20 pounds behind me. So he's getting ready to go for the state record while I just kind of try to survive it. Here is 585 with a very weak pause there. But still went. It was pretty good. And then, of course, I've jumped back to circus dumbbell. Like I said, I'm really hoping to get 230 to 250 pounds on circus dumbbell, which would be a PR. My current PR is 220, but in the upcoming competition, it is for as heavy as possible. And it's going to be with a different circus dumbbell that I've never used before, so it's going to be a learning experience as I go. But I am excited about it, I guess. As excited as I get for the circus dumbbell. It's called dumbbell for a reason. And then here's 635. Just pause, and then it becomes a grind because I am shot still from those yokes on Monday. No bueno, but it went. Happy about it. Now here's Andy. You guys probably recognize him from my Arnold video. He is a training partner of Brian Shaw and helps coach him, and he was in that Arnold video up on stage, on the main stage with Brian, just coaching him. He's an awesome guy, an amazing competitor, really good friend of mine. And him just showing, that's about 300 pounds each hand right there. Maybe a little more, maybe a little more. Anyway, he walks, and then he just holds it because he is the strongest man alive. And then I jump in, and this farmer's walks again, shocker people. But I figured I'd hit it. This is after all my other stuff. Just walking, and then I try to pause at the end, just like Andy did. However, he is much stronger, much better looking. He pretty much beats me in every single way. So he definitely held it for longer than I did. And there we go. I drop it because I'm... And then I did this keg medley where sprint, pick up a 250-pound keg, carry it back, load it over a 48-inch bar. No fun. Run back, grab the 275-pound keg, kind of waddle it up there. 275 pounds on a keg is not very much fun at all. Load over a 48-inch bar, and then go grab that 300 for about 15 feet and load that over the bar. But I did end up taping an outro here at my house, so thank you guys very much for watching, but I'm going to kick to that right now. Alright guys, video recap. So as you can see, I'm here in my library because, like I mentioned earlier, I forgot to tape the intro and outro while I was at the gym. I'm smart. So it was a decent training day. It wasn't anything spectacular by any means. My weight cut is going pretty well. I am down 4 pounds from when I started at this time last week. So that is not bad. Could definitely be better though. So overall, training for this competition is going pretty well. This week, Omar Isov should be releasing a video of mine on his channel. So that's going to be really, really cool. I'm hopefully going to tape that podcast this week. But right now, I am pretty beat up. So I'm going to go jump in an ice bath. I think coming up, I'm going to do an entire video all about different recovery methods that I personally use to keep my training as optimal as possible. Ice bath sounds terrible, but it helps. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you early hopefully next week. But until then, go out, do something amazing, realize, keep working hard, be nice to each other, people, and I'll see you then.